Alright, I'm going to show you guys how this valve works and how to flush it out. If you get debris or anything in it, it can stick open just a little bit and let a little bit of water through, which will raise the pressure in your lines and make your heads drip. So the parts on this mainly, there's a solenoid. It's electric solenoid that the controller sends 24 volts to turn it on or off. Lifts a little plunger up in the bottom and lets the valve open. There's three ways to get this valve apart. One's a straight screwdriver in the top. One's a Phillips screwdriver. And one's a 5/16. Now I like to use a long extension on a 5/16 inch ratchet because usually this water valve is in the back of the cabinet, so you got to get by the air valves first. So, and then I just use a little battery powered ratchet. You can use a regular ratchet too, no big deal. And we're going to take this valve. There's just four screws. And then the top of the valve comes off. Now underneath here we have a spring. It's like a little helper spring. Push the diaphragm down. We have the diaphragm. Then there's a little plastic screen. And that's it. This diaphragm seals right here on this little lip. It's like a rubbery lip. And it seals on this little finished globe inside surface. That's usually where you're going to get your debris. You got to clean this seal off here, clean out anything that's in here, wipe this all down, turn the water on, flush it out a few times even. That helps if anything's laying in the rest of the pipe to get it out of there. Then whenever you put this back together, you got to put your screen in first. It just seats right down in there. And there's a little opening, like a little nipple on the end of there. That has to go in this front spot. You'll also notice that there's arrows on the directions, but you don't have to really worry about that so much because that's already set up whenever you have the cabinet built. So, and then once that's seated like it needs to be, make sure your spring's in there, and then I always just take these four screws and just kind of line it up, set it down on there, and then hold it, and then tighten them down. Now you don't want to use an impact on these either because you can crush the plastic. Now this little plastic nut, it's a bleeder too. You can open it to get the valve to open manually whenever it's in the cabinet. The problem with that is that the water comes out and it gets in your cabinet. If you want to turn this valve on manually and you don't want to use the controller to turn it on top of the solenoid it says quarter turn on, quarter turn off. So you just give it a quarter to half a turn counterclockwise and that valve will manually open. There's a seal in here, a rubber O-ring, so it won't leak any water out in your cabinet while it's running. And then whenever you want to turn it off, you just turn it off.